Well, hello there to all you wisdom walkers out there. This is Jojo Pa, Maria, and Saroma coming to you with another edition of Wisdom Walk Talk here in this place that I'm in. Just crazy today. I am crazy today, folks. Wait till I tell you what has gone on. I'll share it with everybody who's listening in. But this is kind of my pre-show where I get to listen to the opening music on the broadcast and just share a minute with you as I'm trying to get myself together. Let me turn down the drums. Whoo! Yeah, it's sometime. The energy that's going on is just, it's amazing. It's like super off the chain, and it should be with the planets bringing us very powerful transformational energy. So yeah, very, very interesting. Oh my word. Oh my word. It's just really interesting what's going on. So I hope that you all are hanging in there. It's just really interesting what's happening. Hey, Amina, go girl. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna start the show for real. Saying, welcome to everyone listening in. Hello to all you wisdom walkers out there. This is Jojo Pa, Maria, and Saroma coming to you with another edition of Wisdom Walk Talk here on Black Hole Radio and my YouTube channel, Wisdom Walk 2 Self Mastery. Now, I am a little off center today. I forgot my notes. I didn't have them in front of me, so I had to grab my notes. But let me just say this about how crazy the energy is, folks. Let me tell you what's happened. So when I broadcast, I'm doing it through phone, and my technician's application requires a phone. So the universe decides that, well, you don't need a phone today, Jojo Pa. So my service provider, Boost, and for anybody else out there that has Boost, it got hacked really bad. Cybercrime up the gazoo. And it happened on February the 23rd. Just hit me today where I can't receive any calls. I can't make any calls. I can't do any texts, you know. And so I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Can I borrow somebody's phone? What do I do? You know? And then it hit me. It's like, wait a minute, we have these phones that are up in the clouds. And so I discovered Skype still is around. And so I'm Skyping this broadcast as well as live streaming it. So you can imagine I was crazy because I'm telling you, this was like last minute stuff, folks, down to the wire. And I'm still preparing my PowerPoints and oh my God. So that's the energy that we're all enmeshed in right now. That's what we're all going through. So before I say any more about anything, we need to invoke those ancestors. So please, please, please join me because that's what we need to do right now. Let's invoke the ancestors. Creator, Mother, Father, God, Source, all the one, all that is. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you for your blessing and your mercy in our lives and for yet another opportunity to call out to your great, great emissaries, the ancestors. Ancestors, 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 hear our prayers. We call out to you during this first quarter of 2023 and ask you to guide us gently through the required adversaries and adversities as growth opportunities in this nature year. Enable us to express our grief unapologetically and to receive all of the compassion, support, and encouragement that we need to keep moving forward. Continue to enable us to stop being in resistance to the new age and new earth consciousness, and guide us gently and lovingly into our personal renaissance as we dare to live our new narratives enable us to remember that these are divinely scripted for ourselves and for our world. And most importantly, continue to enable us to move forth from the dark ages of modernity by placing our heads below our hearts, valuing people over profits, and always choosing love over fear. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amen. Ashe Ahoasa, Ashinga Bismillah, and so it is. Yes, yes, yes. So, hello to all you wisdom walkers out there. We have made it into March, my birthday month, which I've been celebrating since Friday when it showed up, having a wonderful time. And March is the first of 2 nature months in this nature year 2023 that will reveal the results and manifestations of all the radical shift and unexpected gifts that occurred from 2020 through 2022. The numerology of the year 2023 is a 7, the universal 7, which represents wholeness and perfection. And it's associated with ascension and a life free of obstacles. My theme for 2023 is adversity is the engine of success. And the theme for March is Breakaway. Yes, Breakaway. And it's one of the 5 collective commitments that I'll be spilling about over this year. And just as a reminder for those of you who are listening through the broadcast, if you have any problem and with that connection, you can listen over the phone at this number, or now I've known through 599 be sharing the live stream for you. Also, not only on YouTube, but it also should be showing up on Facebook and in my Wisdom Walk community place. So just know that. But now I invite you to sit or lay back and join me for an exploration of the inner landscape where we can connect to our souls, need to do that, and discover the true treasure of being human. Yeah. So quickly, here's my overview for you tonight. I'm going to first give you a Women's History moment, since this is Women's History Month. I'm then going to define this breakaway message that is a theme for March. Then I'm going to talk about the challenge of choosing to live your life fully, because the title for tonight is Dying to Live versus Living to Die. And then last but not least, I'll give you a personal growth opportunity, choosing to live your dreams or not. Fabulous, fabulous. So let me also share with you now the quote that I used last broadcast, but it's really fitting for tonight. And it is from the great Anais Nin, and she says, "And then the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than to risk to bloom." Yes, yes, yes. And I did have some other quotes that I did share for you, have prepared for you tonight. And let's see if I can find it. Again, if my bandwidth is really, really screwy, it's no wonder, because again, like I said, I'm having to use Skype, so I'm like pulling on 2 parts of the Wi-Fi system, and so I apologize if I'm freezing or you can't understand what I'm saying. I apologize for that. Hopefully, those of you listening in through the broadcast, the radio broadcast, that your signal, my signal to you is strong. I hope so. But anyway, these things happen, right? These things happen. So, oh yeah, I don't have those 2 quotes, but anyway, they're really nice, and put them in my announcement. But again, it's this whole notion that we're looking at about what is it that helps us to move forward in life, and what is moving forward about. And so this Women's History moment that I want to share with you really gives to me, a great example of women who chose to really live their life fully. And I'm talking about the women of this, they called it the 6888 Central Postal Directory Battalion. And these were Black women who joined up during World War II before there was a WAC, or as the WACs were being created. And their mission was to go to England, Birmingham, in fact, and to deal with all of the letters that had not been delivered to the American servicemen because just things were backed up. And they said it was in a warehouse, top ceiling to floor. And it was rat infested, and they would work long hours. You see in the picture here of, how they would be processing the packages and envelopes. And they, within a 3-month period, were able to clear up the mess and get things moving. So then they sent them to France, where you see them in this picture, to do the same thing. And recently, since 2019, there has been a discovery and remembrance of these women. You see in the picture some of these sheroes. One of them is the last surviving member. She's about 102. And there is currently in production a movie that will be on Netflix, produced by Tyler Perry, starring Kerry Washington, and I think probably Oprah Winfrey is going to play Mary McLeod Bethune. I bet you. So that will be coming out soon. Yeah. Really, really cool stuff. So I just wanted to take a moment, and there's also a documentary that was done on them. But I just wanted to take this moment and bring your attention to these incredibly brave women who chose to risk their lives for the United States and to help out all the servicemen, Black, white, blue, green, because they wanted to serve. They wanted to be a part of the effort. And also, I love this quote. This is an article that I found this in from the Smithsonian Magazine, and it has all the good stuff in it. The story about them, really well done. But I love this story. It's like, it was saying that, and her name is Ramay Johnson Davis, the last remaining one. And it was like, her parents supported their decision. She says, my father was skeptical sometimes about my going off, but my mama said, child, see the world while you can. I love that. That's just so right on. That's totally what my grandmama would have said to me. So anyway, we're so grateful for these women, that's most who are ancestors, for giving so much of themselves at a time when the world needed it. Yeah. So that's living your life fully right there. Yeah, that's a living the life fully. So let me jump into this notion of breaking away. Breaking away. As you can see here, this beautiful wild horse is galloping off into the sunset. And, we're living in a time when so much is shifting, so much is changing. And we become more and more conscious of things from the past that are no longer working. And so this notion of breakaway, it's about us choosing to be able to really let go, really let go of what it is that is holding us back from living our lives fully, from being able to wake up every day and be ready to discover something new about ourselves, about other people, to know that you're going to be creating something for yourself and for the world, to have an excitement about how you may be in service by sharing your gifts, talents, and genius in new ways, in ways that maybe you didn't dream about, but that are so fulfilling to you. Yeah. And so we're in this time where it's really important for us to begin to think about this notion of breaking away. breaking out of, moving forward. Um, and so I wanted you to just, especially this month, this is a nature month in a nature year. So it's change, change, change. And it's a time for us this month, especially with some of the planetary aspects that are happening. It's really a time for us to allow ourselves to embrace change. Yeah, to move into it. And it is scary, it is challenging. But if we don't give ourselves permission to at least attempt it, to be willing to go to someplace new. What was that in Star Trek? What they say to explore new worlds. If we don't give ourselves permission to do that, then we're not living our life. And so, dying to live is my way of saying that you are so excited for your life, for what is new, for what is coming. Like the dying is about being in great anticipation, so much so that you're willing to leave behind what is no longer of service to you. I'm dying to live, I'm dying to get to it, I'm dying to do this thing, I'm dying to meet these people, I'm dying to have it be just loving and joy energy every day. That's life. That's real life. And the opposite of that is where we're dying to live, where we set ourselves up comfortably as we can. And sometimes that comfort isn't comfort that I would like, but it might work for someone because what it's doing, it's holding them in place and helping them know. Yeah. I know what's coming. I know what's going to happen. I know who that person is. I know who I am, you know. And when we're in that kind of mindset that I've got to know and things got to be a certain way, they got to be in place, then you're not experiencing what life is all about, which is change, growth, evolution, healing. Things need to be moving in our life. And of course, we can get stuck in thinking that we've got to stay in a certain place, in a certain relationship, in a certain country, even in order to what? Yeah, in order to know. Yeah. Um, and what we're finding, I think, if you think about, look at what's going on in the world today, and what we're finding is if people are being moved out of their homes into different places and spaces, whether they like it or not, there's so much quote unquote immigration going on, or people who are having to step into a refugee lifestyle. It's huge. And so to me, that's a message from our God or universe, whatever you want to call it, that says, be open to the new, be open to the different, something new. And so if you have the opportunity to begin to think about what it is that you may be missing out on in your life because you're holding on to what you know, or you're only giving yourself permission to do what it is that you know, and to meet only those people that you think you can know. Um, yeah, then there's something missing there. There's something missing there. You know, I have no problem with there being consistency in terms of how we're experiencing our life, especially for those of you who are parents. Yeah. You do have to be consistent. You do have to stay still. But even within that, there can be this experience of excitement and some risk taking and some learning new things, experiencing new things. Um, I remember when I was growing up and my aunt had a car and she was still getting masters, still doing school stuff, and our home was on Staten Island, but she was always running into the city, and my mother worked in Manhattan too. But I loved, um, tagging along with my aunt and my cousin, even though sometimes they got on my nerves. But I love tagging along behind them just to learn these new things, go to new places, see new things in the city, go to a restaurant or a play and I just love that and I needed that. I wanted to see new things. So yeah, there are people like me, I call myself just a nomad and a wanderlust that I like to be moving. But I think also for those of you who, are not nomadic and like to be stationary, you can still have excitement, great excitement in your life. You can still have that. And I think the place that this begins with is looking at our dreams, and especially from when we were a child. What is it that you were dreaming about? What is it that you were looking forward to when I grow up? Think about that. And so here's my personal growth opportunity for you. I want you to really think about what is a dream that you have, no matter how impossible it may seem to you right now. What's a dream you have that you are not allowing yourself to experience? Yeah. And that's the first part of the exercise. Just open yourself up to where is it that I've limited or stopped myself from following my dream, from having my dream come true. That's the first step. The second step is if for some reason you excite you, then ask yourself, what's my new dream? What is the new dream that I want to have, that I want to experience? Yeah. And open yourself up to learning how to have that new dream come true. So it's just about this stepping into willingness. This is the first way in which we can manifest what is rightfully ours. We have to open ourselves up to it. So basically, what I'm doing is encouraging you to give yourself permission to dream and to follow those dreams. First, just by allowing yourself to believe that you can have it. Yeah. And so to do that, you've got to break away from any excuses as to why you can't have your dream. Yeah. Get on your horse and ride off into the sunset toward your dream. Yes. That's my personal growth opportunity for you. Yeah. Let me know how it goes. I'd be very interested in hearing because I'm doing the same. I'm doing the same work. Believe me, believe me. So here is my quote from Miss Sarah for you tonight. Miss Sarah says, failure is impossible. It is an illusion. Nothing is a failure. Everything moves the human story. Hence, the progress of evolution forward. Everything advances you on your journey. Ashe, ashe. Thank you, Mama Sarah. And so, as I come to the conclusion of my spill on are you dying to live or living to die? Um, I just want to do my closers. But, one thought that just came to me know that we're living in a culture here, especially in the United States, where big pharma and insurance companies get a big say in how we experience our life, how we experience our health. And it makes money to have people living to die. People who are just, well, let me just survive and everything will be okay. Um, so that's another thing to think about. If you want to help bust up the big pharma and the insurance companies from running your life, then start taking some risks. Start dreaming and believing you can have your dreams. So I want to, of course, shout out to my wonderful engineer, Miss Yvette Parker, and thank her so much for putting up with the drama of this afternoon of, oh my God, I don't have a phone. And thank you for always being willing to give me platform and to support me doing this important work. I want to shout out to all my regular listeners and watchers out there. Those of you who wisdom walk with me, and you know who you are. Those of you who may be wisdom walking with me very soon. To my family on both coasts, and of course, my family in the middle of the country, my transformational leadership colleagues, and my medicine brothers and sisters around the world. Thank you. Big thank you. I couldn't do this without you. Now, I will be live streaming my astrological information. Astrology for Self Mastery is going to be big. It's going to be a big one tomorrow. I'm going to do that tomorrow. And also, I will post my elemental wisdom for the month of March. And I will repeat this broadcast on Sunday, March the 12th. And then I'll continue with a second live spiritual spill for March on the 19th. And that one will be called Looking Forward versus Looking Back. Yeah. And so, last but not least, I want to thank my God, my ancestors, my spirit guides, loving entities, everything that walks with me, keeps my head to the sky, my feet to the ground, and my heart open to do this important work with and for all of you. So please have a very healthy and safe Earth Week that we're in starting today, receiving support. Now, continue to wear your mask and or strengthen your immune system, practice safe relating, wash those hands frequently, avoid perceived safety, and embrace science safety. And most importantly, please remember that you are not disposable. You know that? You're not disposable. In fact, you are divine. Good night now.